Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we're talking all about cars in this intermediate level lesson.
That's right. We have a little bit of problems with our car, and we're going to talk about some possible solutions to these car problems we have. So why don't we just listen to the dialogue today? We have no words on vocabulary preview, so let's jump right into the dialogue and listen for the first time.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
Okay, so this dialogue reminds me a lot of a radio show in America called Car Talk. And the hosts of the show, like Marco and I today, they talk about how to solve problems, and they ask you questions to find out what the problem is. So it's a really helpful show, but let's take a look at some of the phrases and words that you heard so we can understand what exactly is going on here.
Language takeaway.
All right, so today on Language Takeaway, we have 5 words, and they're all very specific to the car. So why don't we start with the first word? It's a noun, and we are talking about the ignition.
Ignition. The ignition is the first step to... The ignition is a part of the first step to starting a car. Basically, under the wheel of the car, the steering wheel, there's usually a silver hole where you can put the key in. Mm-hmm. This is the ignition. It starts the car.
Exactly. So you put the key in the ignition and you can start the car. And to start the car means to turn it on, to get it going.
That's right. And so ignition is the first step. Starting the ignition.
Okay, so moving on to our next word, we have a word that's formed by 2 different parts. A spark plug. A spark plug. Spark
plug. So a spark plug is an electrical object. Basically, this has to do with electricity and the way that the car gets energy.
So it's called a spark plug because it creates a spark, which is a brief burst of current. So this basically creates a small spark of electricity, and this makes the gasoline ignite, so that's what makes the car go.
Right, so energy is taken from the battery to start a small fire, basically, so which then starts the engine. Spark plug, it's a very small but very important part of a car.
Very good. And moving on, we have the starter motor.
Okay, to be very honest with you, I'm not a car person, so I'm not sure what the starter motor is. Maybe you can explain this to us, Marco.
Okay, so basically your car runs on gasoline, right? So you put your key into the ignition and you turn it, right? This in turn sends energy to this little motor called a starter motor. And that basically gets the car going by means of an electrical current before the gasoline ignites. So it's like a little electrical motor that makes the spark plug ignite and causes some of the mechanical parts like the pistons move within the car, and then it turns on.
Okay, so again, this is all about the beginning of when we turn the key in the ignition, what happens. This is a starter motor. So once we've turned the car on, we've turn the key in the ignition, we have to worry about giving the car gas. So we can control gas with the accelerator pedal.
So by saying you want to give the car gas is you want to give it more energy, more power, or less energy, right?
Right. So if I want to go very fast, I push my foot down on the accelerator, and the further down it goes, the faster I move.
Exactly. So that's the Accelerator. Now, the opposite of making the car go would make the car stop, and those are called
Brakes.
brakes.
So
Okay.
on the left, we have a brake pedal, and on the right, we have an accelerator pedal.
Very good. Okay, and talking about acceleration and gas, we have a very specific mechanical object, and that's called a carburetor.
Okay, again, carburetor. I know that this is under the hood of my car, but I'm not sure what it does. Let's talk about this.
All right, so it's not very common to have a carburetor anymore in new cars, but basically it's a small device that controls the flow of gasoline from the gas tank to the engine. And basically what it does, it makes the gasoline into a type of very thin mist, and that's what that way the gasoline can ignite easier. So the further down you push your foot on the accelerator, the wider the little gap or the hole will open on the carburetor, and that way your car will go faster.
All right, very good. So that's all we've got for language takeaway today, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a second with Fluency Builder.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
All right, we're back. So now why don't we take a look at 4 key phrases that we have for you on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, this first phrase. So you heard the phrase at the beginning, car trouble center. But car trouble center, that's maybe the name of a fake company that we use. But the phrase car trouble is very, very common.
So if you say, I'm having car trouble or I had some car trouble, what does that mean?
That means my car broke.
Okay. So
But you don't say my car broke. This is one thing that can't break because normally you say I'm having trouble or I'm having car trouble because a part of my car is not working.
Okay. So instead of saying I'm having problems with my car or my car broke, you just say I had car trouble or I'm having car trouble.
That's right. So this is a really good excuse for coming to work late. You can say, oh, I'm so sorry. I was having car trouble this morning.
Right. So any type of problems with your car can be considered car trouble. Flat tire, no battery, etc.
Etc. Yes.
Okay. Now moving on, we have a very interesting verb here. We heard when the guy was talking about the starter motor, he said, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Okay, to crank. So this is a very interesting verb. It can also be a noun. It's a sound. Okay, but it's also a movement. So when something turns around in a circle, thunk, 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 maybe you think of a metal wheel, thunk, thunk, that's a crank. So sometimes we talk about those old cars, 1910s, 1920s, the first Ford cars. You had to crank them in the front. You had to actually turn with your hand a wheel to make the car start.
Right.
So this is a crank.
Exactly. You can hear this in your car. Maybe if your car doesn't have gasoline, you hear the tick, 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 tick. That's the starter motor cranking.
So it's going around in circles, trying to create energy.
Exactly. And now when the guy was talking about the accelerator and he was talking about the carburetor, he said, no, don't step on that pedal because you can flood the carburetor. So to flood.
Okay. To flood. This is a verb. Maybe you've heard the word flood before as a noun, but this means to fill something with liquid, with gasoline, with water, with milk. So to flood something is to fill it up with a liquid.
Okay, very good. So you can flood a dam, for example, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Or in this case, you can flood a carburetor, which means it won't work because it's all wet.
Okay, very good. And the last phrase that we have very handy when you're talking about cars is to fill the tank.
Okay, this is always a problem at my house because I hate to fill the tank.
Really?
And so, yeah, whenever my car's in the driveway and someone in my family asks if they can borrow it, I say, yeah, sure. And then obviously an hour later they come back and say, why don't you ever fill the tank? It's empty. You have no gas. And I say, well, I hate to fill the car with gas. And so I always have an empty tank. So I never fill the tank.
Okay, so that's what it means. To fill the tank is to have it full of gasoline.
Right, to put gasoline into your gasoline tank.
Okay, very good. Why don't we go back and listen to the dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
All right, we're back. So, talking about cars and car trouble, I understand, for example, in some countries, when you're getting a driver's license, you're forced or obliged to learn a little bit of car mechanics. You have to learn about the engine or how to change your tire and basic things like this.
That's a brilliant idea. In America, you don't have to know how to fix your car. You have to know how to pay someone to fix your car. But basically, we only learn the rules of the road. So the signs and the basic rules.
Really?
Yeah, but I think it would be very helpful to know how to fix a tire or how to change the oil in your car. I mean, is this a requirement in Ecuador?
Yeah. When
Really?
when you're getting your driver's permit, your driver's license, you have to take a course which shows you the mechanics of the car, first aid course, and also basic road rules and all that stuff. But basically, because it can be something very simple, like for example, they show you where the battery is, where you can check the oil and basic things like this. So maybe the little cable from the battery just came loose, and that's why your car won't start.
Yeah.
So instead of you waiting for 2 hours until somebody comes and picks you up, or a tow truck, you can just check very briefly basic things that can maybe go wrong in your car, and you can just go on your way.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
had my dad for that.
You would
My
tell
dad
your
said, I'm not going to have a little girl who doesn't know how to change a tire or who doesn't know how to check the oil levels. So, yeah, but not everybody has a parent who will teach them.
Right. No, and it's very handy because, for example, you get a flat tire. And sometimes, cars can be a little bit tricky. The wheel nuts are sometimes covered by a plastic cover, so
Yeah.
you don't know how to take it off. There's a special tool for that. Or the jack. Sometimes the jack is not the normal one that you have to pump up
Yeah.
and down. It's a little one that you have to turn a lever and you have to do this. So it's very, very useful to know these things.
Absolutely. I'm curious to know if our listeners out there have experience with cars and car mechanics. And if you have this rule, like Marco says, they have in Ecuador, about learning about cars before you actually get your driver's license.
Yeah.
Let us know on our website, englishpod.com. We hope to see you there.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Look at something in a careful way. Go through. A device to start up the car. Ignition. Electrical device that ignites the gas by electric. Spark plug. An electric motor for starting an engine. Starter motor. To start an engine, motor, etc. Crank. The device which helps cars get running. Engine. A pedal that controls the throttle valve. Accelerator. Mixes air with gasoline vapor prior to explosion. Carburetor.
Let's try that faster.
An electric motor for starting an engine. Starter motor. A pedal that controls the throttle valve. Accelerator. Look at something in a careful way. Go through. A device to start up the car. Ignition. To start an engine, motor, etc. Crank. Electrical device that ignites the gas by electric. Spark plug. The device which helps cars get running. Engine. Mixes air with gasoline vapor prior to explosion. Carburetor.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Ignition. He turned the key in the ignition and the truck roared to life. Ignition. His new car has a keyless ignition system. Ignition. I put the keys into the boat's ignition switch and turned it on. Spark plug. The mechanic took a look at my car and said that the spark plug needed to be replaced. Spark plug. Tens of thousands of volts travel down the spark plug to ignite the fuel. Spark plug. I checked everything, including the spark plug, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with your car. Starter motor. The motor turned the crank, which started the machine. Starter motor. The starter motor in my car is defective. Starter motor. I ripped the cord on the boat's motor and started to travel across the lake. Crank. In the olden days, people had to manually crank the engine for the car to start. Crank. Nowadays, a motor cranks the engine in order to start the car. Crank. This time, the starter motor finally cranked when I turned the key. Engine. Can you start the engine about 5 minutes before we're supposed to leave? Engine. The engine sputtered and then it died. Engine. I can hear my engine straining in its old age.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another great lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we are going to have a lesson that is going to be very useful when you arrive late.
Yes, well, we all have arrived late to something, and we need a good way of saying sorry and saying why we were late.
So today we're not only going to be looking at vocabulary used to explain why you are late, but also some typical excuses of why people are late.
Right, so some normal reasons for saying why you're late. Well, why don't we get started with the dialogue? Now, we're going to hear 5 people in the dialogue. So at the beginning, we'll hear the boss and the assistant, and then we'll hear 3 people who are arriving late.
Where's everyone? We were supposed to start 15 minutes ago.
Jo called and said she'd be here in a sec. She said she got tied up with a client.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. Oh, there was a huge traffic jam on the highway this morning.
Morning, everyone. Were you stuck in traffic as well, Jess? There was a huge pileup on the highway, and traffic was backed up for miles.
Scott just called and said that he's running late. His last meeting ran over, but he's on his way now.
Guys, this is not acceptable. If I say the meeting starts at 10, the meeting starts at 10, not 10:01, and definitely not 10:20. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is
I'm really sorry, everyone. I know I'm late, but really, it's not my fault. I was getting a coffee at Starbucks, and the line was way, way too long. I was waiting for 20 minutes to get my coffee.
All right, so, well, good excuses in general, except the last one. I don't think that's such a good excuse of why you're late, right?
Yeah, I don't really think if I was the boss, I would be very happy with this employee.
Yeah, I don't think coffee is that important.
But some of the excuses were good, and some of the language they used to describe the excuses was really great. So let's look at that now in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, on language takeaway today, we have 4 words that we're going to be looking at. And well, let's get started with the first one. So Joe called the office assistant and explained that she will be late because she got tied up with a client.
To get tied up.
So I got tied up with a client.
All right, this is a really common reason for being late, but why don't we listen to some examples to help us understand what it means?
Example 1.
Sorry I'm late, honey. I got tied up at the office.
Example 2.
I was tied up on the phone all afternoon and didn't get any work done.
Example 3.
I got tied up in traffic on the way here.
All right, so if you get tied up, it means that you get busy with something that you can't avoid.
Right, you're busy with something that's so important, it's like you are tied by a rope to that thing.
Okay, I got tied up. I'm sorry, I got tied up.
Yep.
All right, now the first person that arrived to the office will explain that there was a huge traffic jam on the highway.
A traffic jam.
A traffic jam.
A huge traffic jam.
Now, we understand traffic, right? Cars, a lot of cars.
Yep.
So a jam, it means that it was like blocked.
It was stopped.
It was stopped.
Yep.
There were a lot of cars on the highway and they weren't moving.
So a huge traffic jam is a very, very big stopping of cars.
Now, our next word explains why sometimes there is a traffic jam.
Well, we found out that there was a huge pileup.
A pileup.
A huge pileup.
Okay, a huge pileup. Now, if a pileup is another way of saying an accident, right?
Yeah, an accident with many cars and they all get piled on top of each other.
All right, so many cars got into an accident.
Yep.
So this could be a reason of why there was a traffic jam.
And also a reason for why you were late.
All right. Now, the other person, Scott, also called and he said that he's running late.
He's running late.
He's running late.
I'm running late.
Now, if I'm running late, am I actually running somewhere? What am I doing? What's happening?
You are going to be late and you know you're going to be late.
Okay, I know I'm going to be late. So I'll call you and I'll say, hey, I'm running a little bit late.
Yeah, actually, this is the most common thing I say when I'm going to be late. And I think it's really important to know how to use this phrase. So let's hear some more examples.
Example 1.
Jane is running late. She'll be here in 10 minutes.
Example 2.
Traffic is really bad, so I'm running late.
Example 3.
I'm running a bit late, so please start without me.
All right, perfect. So running late, a very common way of explaining that you're going to be late and, well, it makes you sound very native.
Yeah, it's a great phrase. Now, our last phrase, what we heard, the reason why Scott was running late was because his last meeting ran over.
Okay, to run over.
My meeting ran over.
Now, ran over, my meeting ran over, it means it went too far?
Well, when something runs over, it goes longer.
Okay, longer than expected.
Yeah, so a meeting can run over or an appointment can run over.
So I can say, my meeting ran over 15 minutes. I'm going to be a little bit late.
That's right. a great excuse.
Very good. 5 great words. And well, I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue and understand these words as they were used in the dialogue. And then we'll come back and take a look at more phrases.
Where is everyone? We were supposed to start 15 minutes ago.
Joe called and said she'd be here in a sec. She said she got tied up with a client.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. There was a huge traffic jam on the highway this morning.
Morning, everyone. Were you stuck in traffic as well, Jess? There was a huge pileup on the highway, and traffic was backed up for miles.
Scott just called and said that he's running late. His last meeting ran over, but he's on his way now.
Guys, this is not acceptable. If I say the meeting starts at 10, the meeting starts at 10, not 10:01, and definitely not 10:20. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is our...
I'm really sorry, everyone. I know I'm late, but really it's not my fault. I was getting a coffee at Starbucks, and the line was way too long. I was waiting for 20 minutes to get my coffee.
Okay, we got some more great phrases for describing being late. Let's look at them now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
When Joe called, she said she'd be there in a sec.
I'll be here in a sec.
I'll be here in a sec.
So when someone will be here in a sec, it means they'll be here very soon, right?
Okay, I'll be here in a sec. I'll be there in a sec.
But what about this word sec?
It's a short way of saying second.
So S-E-C.
A sec. Now, it's an exaggeration, obviously, because you won't be there in 1 second. But you're just explaining that you'll be there very, very soon.
What about the difference between I'll be here in a sec and I'll be here in a minute?
Well, if you say I'll be there in a sec, it means like I'll be there in 1 minute, right? But if you say, oh, I'll be there in a minute, it could be a minute or more like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Now, again, going back to this traffic issue, we saw that somebody was stuck in traffic.
To be stuck in traffic.
I got stuck in traffic.
Now, when you're stuck in traffic, you can't drive because there are too many cars stopped on the highway.
So you are actually in the traffic jam.
Yeah, you're stopped there for like 20 minutes. You can't move.
Okay, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm going to be late.
Really great excuse. And the reason they were stuck in traffic was because traffic was backed up for miles.
Okay, traffic is backed up for miles.
To be backed up for miles.
Now, if I say the traffic is backed up for miles, it means that it's very long, or how does that work?
Well, okay, imagine there is an accident, and that has caused a traffic jam, and the cars are lined up for many miles behind you.
Okay, so it's backed up. From that point, there are many miles of cars waiting to pass.
Yep. So it's backed up for miles.
Very good. So great phrases. And I think it's appropriate for us to listen to the dialogue for the very last time. And then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about this being on time issue.
Where's everyone? We were supposed to start 15 minutes ago.
Joe called and said she'd be here in a sec. She said she got tied up with a client.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. Oh, there was a huge traffic jam on the highway this morning.
Morning, everyone. Were you stuck in traffic as well, Jess? There was a huge pileup on the highway, and traffic was backed up for miles.
Scott just called and said that he's running late. His last meeting ran over, but he's on his way now.
Guys, this is not acceptable. If I say the meeting starts at 10, the meeting starts at 10, not 10:01, and definitely not 10:20. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is
I'm
our...
really sorry, everyone. I know I'm late, but really it's not my fault. I was getting a coffee at Starbucks, and the line was way, way too long. I was waiting for 20 minutes to get my coffee.
Well, Marco, I know that ideas about time and ideas about being late are different in different countries.
Yeah, in different countries, people treat time or being on time in different ways.
Yeah, like I'm from Canada, and I look at being on time really different than you do, right?
Yes, because for example, if you call for a meeting at 9 o'clock,
Yep.
usually people will be there at 9 o'clock because the meeting will start
In America.
Right, in America. Now, for example, in Latin America, we do have this, what we call sometimes the Latino time or Hispanic time, which is like 9 o'clock is like the time that everyone should be there, but until people get there, get their coffee and whatever, then it'll be 9:15, maybe up to 9:30.
And I think it's a little bit even more noticeable when we're talking about social events. Like if you go to someone's house for dinner. In Canada, if they say, come to my house at 6 o'clock for dinner, you'll be there at 6:05, right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, usually you'll be there only a couple of minutes after the time that was specified, just to, give the house owner a little bit of time.
Yep.
But if we have a dinner invitation for 6, we know that it's not really going to begin eating at 6, so people will get there at 6:30 or 7. And of course, food isn't ready until like maybe 8 or 9.
But in German countries, from what I know, you've got to be there. If they say be there at 6, you're there at 6:00, right? Not 6:01.
And also, I think it's about when people start work, right?
Yeah.
How on time you have to begin work. Sometimes it's acceptable to be 10 or 15 minutes so-called late, but in other places,
Yeah, North America, if you're supposed to start work at 9, you have to be at your desk working at 9.
At 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that in other countries, people get there at 9, get their coffee, maybe take a quick glance at their emails or the newspaper, and then, start working at around 9:30 or 10.
So I guess the important thing is to know what the tradition is in the country where you are.
Exactly. So come to our website, englishpod.com, and let us know how it works in your countries. I know that many different countries have a different way of treating time, so share it with us.
Yes, and remember, if you have any questions, please ask them at the website as well. We're out of time today, but until next time, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Bye-bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. The quality of always being on time.
Punctual.
Blocked, so you can't move forward.
Backed up.
Later than planned. Late.
Behind schedule.
Sleep later than planned.
Sleep.
Become busy. Unable to leave.
Got tied up.
The quality of often being late.
Tardiness.
Move very quickly.
Hustle.
Going to be late.
Running late.
To go beyond a limit.
Ran over.
So make cars on the road that you cannot drive or move forward.
Stuck in traffic.
Soon.
In a sec.
Very big.
Huge.
A lot of cars stopped from moving.
Traffic jam.
An accident where many cars crash into each other.
Pile up.
Let's try that faster. Going to be late.
Running late.
Soon.
In a sec.
Move very quickly.
Hustle.
Sleep later than planned.
Sleep.
To go beyond a limit.
Ran over.
Become busy. Unable to leave.
Got tied up.
The quality of often being late.
Tardiness.
An accident where many cars crash into each other.
Pile up.
Blocked, so you can't move forward.
Backed up.
The quality of always being on time.
Punctual.
Later than planned. Late.
Behind schedule.
A lot of cars stopped from moving.
Traffic jam.
Very big.
Huge.
So many cars on the road that you cannot drive or move forward.
Stuck in traffic.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Stuck in traffic. Hello, Daniel. It's me. Listen, I'm going to be late today because I'm stuck in traffic. Stuck in traffic. We should leave early this morning or else we'll get stuck in traffic. Stuck in traffic. We should have taken the other highway. Now we'll be stuck in traffic for at least an hour. Ran over. The meeting ran over by more than 30 minutes. Ran over. I always leave an extra 15 minutes in my schedule, just in case meetings run over a bit. Ran over. Frank always forgets about the time and runs over the time limit of his presentations. Running late. Jane is running late. She'll be here in 10 minutes. Running late. Traffic is really bad, so I'm running late. Running late. I'm running a bit late, so please start without me. Got tied up. Sorry I'm late, honey. I got tied up at the office. Got tied up. I was tied up on the phone all afternoon and didn't get any work done. Got tied up. I got tied up in traffic on the way here. The accident backed up traffic for miles. Don't take the 405 freeway today. There was an accident, so there are cars backed up for miles. Our highway system is very inefficient. Traffic is backed up for miles every morning.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another lesson with us here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going back to school.
That's right. We're talking about my least favorite subject.
That would be math.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about math. Now, I know that many of you, of course, know math.
Right.
But do you know the operations in English?
Many people find it hard to find the right words to talk about math in English.
Right. So that's what we're going to be looking at today.
And we'll also look at some names that you can call people who are really, really, really smart.
So let's listen to our dialogue for the first time, and then we'll come back and look at those math words.
All right, children, let's review. Tommy, pay attention.
Sorry, Miss Cadlick.
Okay, Crystal, now tell me. What's 4 plus 11?
15.
Miss Cadlick always asks Crystal. She's such a teacher's pet.
Okay, and what about 56 minus 60?
-4.
Very good. 12 times 12?
Very good. Suck up.
144.
0 divided by 1?
0.
How did you know that? Okay, smarty pants. The square root of 2.
Bet you're not going to get that one, know-it-all.
1.4142135.
All right, so that's one smart little girl, huh?
Yeah, pretty smart. Actually, smarter than me in math.
All right, so let's take a look at some of those words that the teacher used to ask her about certain operations in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so like we said, you guys know how to do math and you know the words in your language, but maybe in English it's a little bit harder to find the right words. So let's look at those now.
Okay, so let's look at the first question that she asked. What's 4 plus 11?
4 plus 11.
Okay, plus.
Plus.
All right. So 4 plus 11, Erica, is?
Let me take a look at here. 15.
15. Okay, so we are adding, right?
Yes.
So that's how you would say. Let's go with an easy one. 2 plus 2.
4.
4, right?
Yep.
Or 5 plus 5.
10.
10, okay.
You're really testing my skills.
So that's how you would add numbers.
Now, what about taking away numbers?
Okay, so taking away or subtracting. All right, let's test you again. In the dialogue, she said 56 minus 60.
56 minus 60 equals -4.
Okay, minus, so that's negative, right?
Minus.
So, and of course, if you have 56 apples and you take away 60, you're left with
-4.
-4.
Well, actually, you're left with 0 apples.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that answer is also interesting. -4.
-4.
That means -4, right?
4 less than 0.
4 less than 0. Very good. -4. Okay, so now for our next operation. 12 times 12.
12 times 12.
12 times 12.
No, Marco, don't ask me the answer.
All right, 12 times 12 equals 144. Now, that's multiplying.
Right, or multiplication.
Multiplication. Okay, so this times part, it's very easy to remember because, for example, 4 times 4. You can just say 4, the number 4, and you add it, right?
4 times.
4 times. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4.
Right, so times.
Times. Uh-huh.
Now the opposite of times.
All right, the opposite of multiplication is division.
Division.
Okay, so in our dialogue, the teacher said 0 divided by 1.
0 divided by 1.
0 divided by 1. Any number divided by 0 is 0.
All right, so let's give another example. 15 divided by 3.
All right, so 15 divided by 3 equals
5.
5.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So divided by.
Divided by. Very good. So after division, the teacher was very impressed, and now she asked a very hard mathematical operation, especially for a girl this age. The square root of 2.
The square root of.
Square root.
So let's give some examples to show what is the square root.
Okay. So if I ask you the square root of 9.
3.
3, right?
Yes.
What about the square root of 4?
2.
2. Okay. So now one more. The square root of 16.
4.
4. Okay, so you notice the pattern, right? And I'm sure everyone knows this in their own language, how you would get a square root.
Exactly. So this language is pretty simple. You all know it in your own language, but let's hear it again in English one more time with the dialogue.
All right, children, let's review. Tommy, pay attention.
Sorry, Miss Cadlick.
Okay, Crystal, now tell me. What's 4 plus 11? 15.
Miss Cadlick always asks Crystal. She's such a teacher's pet.
Okay, and what about 56 minus 60? -4. Very good. 12 times 12?
Very good. Suck up.
144. 0 divided by 1?
0.
How did you know that? Okay, smarty pants. The square root of 2.
Bet you're not going to get that one, know-it-all.
1.4142135.
Okay, so we understand the mathematical operations that we saw here. Very easy. But now there was another little kid in there who was very, I think, envious or jealous.
Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy, right? So he called her a couple of different names.
Well, let's look at those now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so the first one that he called Crystal, the little girl, he called her a teacher's pet.
Teacher's pet.
Teacher's pet.
A teacher's pet.
So, Erica, what exactly is a teacher's pet?
It is the favorite student the teacher has in that class.
All right, so it's always the student that's helping the teacher.
Yeah, the smartest student.
Yeah. The teacher's pet.
Yeah, and it has a negative meaning in English.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's a good thing to be the teacher's pet.
Like the teacher thinks it's good.
Yeah.
But all of the friends and the classmates, they think it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Teacher's pet.
And similar to teacher's pet is a suck up.
Suck up.
Suck up.
Again, suck up. What is this? What is a suck up?
A suck up is a person who tries really, really hard to make the teacher like him.
Okay, now we can also use it outside of the classroom, right?
Yeah, at work, maybe.
Okay, there is always at work, there is always one person who's the suck up, right?
Yes. Now, again, this has a negative meaning in English.
Yeah, I guess in the workplace, the rest of your colleagues don't really like that person who's considered to be the suck up, who's always trying to please the boss.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, so the teacher calls Crystal a smarty pants.
Smarty pants.
Smarty pants.
Okay, so this is also a little name calling, right? So what is a smarty pants?
Somebody who is too smart.
Too smart.
Who tries too hard to be smart.
Now, this is only for little kids, right? I wouldn't call you a smarty pants. Right?
No, it's definitely for children. Adults don't say this.
Unless maybe you are joking or having fun with someone.
Yeah, but if you say it, you are suggesting that you're being like a child.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, smarty pants. And our last one, and this is also a very good phrase and a way to describe someone, know-it-all.
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 A know-it-all.
Sometimes you say Mr. Know-it-all, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what is a know-it-all?
Somebody who tries to show everyone that they know it all.
They know everything.
Yeah, they're so smart.
They have the answers to everything.
But they really, really try and show everyone that they know everything.
These people can be sometimes a little bit irritating, right?
Yeah, very, very annoying.
Annoying.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not a good thing to be a know-it-all all the time.
Yeah, actually, all of these phrases are not good things to be.
Okay, so let's listen to our dialogue one more time, and then we're gonna come back and Erica's gonna tell us how much she hates math.
All right, children, let's review. Tommy, pay attention.
Sorry, Miss Cadlick.
Okay, Crystal, now tell me. What's 4 plus 11?
15.
Miss Cadlick always asks Crystal. She's such a teacher's pet.
Okay, and what about 56 minus 60?
-4.
Very good. 12 times 12?
Very good. Suck up.
144.
0 divided by 1?
0.
How did you know that? Okay, smarty pants. The square root of 2.
Bet you're not going to get that one, know-it-all.
1.4142135.
All right, so Erica, you were telling me that you hated math, or you still do.
Well, yes, that's true. I really do hate math. And even doing a simple, like 16 plus 32 is too hard for me.
So you were never really that type of person that's good with numbers.
No, I'm terrible with numbers. I can't even remember my own phone number.
Really?
That's true. Like, I really, if someone asks me for my phone number, I have to look on my phone in the address book to find it.
Well, yeah, sometimes numbers can be difficult. I kind of liked math when I was younger. It just made sense. So.
Well, I guess there's a reason why I'm an English teacher and not a math teacher.
And I was actually not very good at language.
But here you are.
Exactly. Well, I mean, in Spanish, I like grammar. Not very good at that, all those rules.
Yeah, but you're pretty good at English, so that's all right with me.
That's all right.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Tell us what your favorite subject or your least favorite subject in school was. What about you? Do you have any favorite subject? Or did you have a favorite subject?
History.
History.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked chemistry for a while.
Oh, God. Chemistry involves numbers.
Well, a little bit, but it was interesting as well.
Hey, what's your favorite subject?
Probably math. What about you?
Really? Mine's history. Why math?
I like solving problems. It feels like a puzzle.
That's interesting. I've always found math hard.
A lot of people do, but it's fun once you get it.
What's your favorite part of math?
Geometry, I think. I like working with shapes.
I was terrible at geometry. Too many formulas.
True, but they make sense if you practice.
I'm better at basic math, like addition and subtraction.
That's a good start. Math builds on itself, you know.
Yeah, but algebra? No way.
Algebra's not so bad. It's just like solving a riddle.
I don't know. Letters with numbers. Too confusing.
It confused me at first, too. Then I practiced more.
Do you ever get stuck on math problems?
All the time. But I try not to give up.
What do you do when you're stuck?
I go step by step or ask the teacher.
That makes sense. Maybe I should try that.
You should. Math is easier with a little help.
Maybe I'll give it another chance.
You should. Who knows, you might end up liking it.
Maybe, but history's still my favorite.
Fair enough. We all have different favorites.
True. Hey, wanna help me with math sometime?
Sure, let's do it after school.
Great. Thanks.
No problem. Let's make math less scary.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Go over what has been learned.
Review.
Add.
Plus.
The student a teacher likes best.
Teacher's pet.
Take away. Subtract.
Minus.
To multiply.
Times.
A person who always tries to make the teacher or boss like him or her.
Suck up.
Separate to some parts.
Divided by.
A person who tries to show he is so smart.
Smarty pants.
The number obtained when a number is multiplied by itself.
Square root.
I think something is likely to happen.
I'll bet.
The person claims or pretends to know everything.
Know it all.
A math problem where each side is equal.
Equation.
A mathematical process such as adding, multiplying, subtracting, etc.
Operation.
The process of adding a number to itself a certain number of times.
Multiplication.
The process of adding two numbers together.
Addition.
The process of taking one number away from another.
Subtraction.
The process of dividing something into parts.
Division.
Let's try that faster. The number obtained when a number is multiplied by itself.
Square root.
The process of dividing something into parts.
Division.
A person who tries to show he is so smart.
Smarty pants.
A math problem where each side is equal.
Equation.
To multiply.
Times.
Take away. Subtract.
Minus.
The student a teacher likes best.
Teacher's pet.
Go over what has been learned.
Review.
Add.
Plus.
I think something is likely to happen.
I'll bet.
The process of adding a number to itself a certain number of times.
Multiplication.
The person claims or pretends to know everything.
Know it all.
A person who always tries to make the teacher or boss like him or her.
Suck up.
Separate to some parts.
Divided by.
The process of taking one number away from another.
Subtraction.
a mathematical process such as adding, multiplying, subtracting, etc.
Operation.
The process of adding two numbers together.
Addition.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Plus. Everyone knows that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Plus. We need 5 tickets plus an extra one for John. Plus. I have $2,000 in my bank account plus an extra $500 under my bed. Minus. The ticket costs $100 minus a 10% discount. Minus. I don't understand this. Do you know what 1 minus 1 equals? Minus. There were 5 cans of tuna here minus 2 that I ate this morning. Where are the rest? Divided by. To solve this problem, you'll need to divide the number of days in a year by the number of days worked. Divided by. I weigh 140 pounds, so if I divide that by 2.2, I will know my weight in kilograms. Divided by. I don't think we have enough food. We only have 2 pizzas and we need to divide them by 20 people. Mommy, everyone at school says I'm a teacher's pet. There was a kid that used to bring my teacher an apple every day. He was such a teacher's pet. I always hated the kid that was the teacher's pet. He would always get more attention. Suck up. We have a colleague at work who's the biggest suck up. He's always being nice to our boss. Suck up. I hate it when someone tries to suck up to you just because you work with Britney Spears. Suck up. There is a job opening next month for a managerial position. I think I'm going to have to act like a suck up to get that job.